Welcome to the Lady Landlords podcast, where we empower women to gain financial independence through real estate investing. I'm your host, Becky Nova, founder of Lady Landlords. If you're ready to buy, manage, and grow your real estate portfolio, then let's get started.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Lady Landlords podcast, and also welcome to 2023. Today, I just wanted to take a quick second to introduce myself if we have not met yet, as we now kick off season 3 of the Lady Landlords podcast. Figure I can give you a little reminder of where I come from and who I am. And then after that, I always promote the idea of sharing what our goals are and really putting them out into the universe, what we would like to have happen. So the past few weeks and the end of 2022, I did share a couple things for what I expect to see in the market now in 2023. So I think it's only fair then to share what my goals are and what I plan on doing also in the new year during that time. So to kick us off, if we have not met, hi, my name is Becky Nova. I am the founder of Lady Landlords. I am a New Yorker, if you have not been able to figure that out with how fast I already talk. But where I come from is my background is actually in cancer research. That's the industry that I worked in for about 15 years, running clinical trials throughout New York and also the Washington, D.C. area. But I really became very disillusioned with working in that industry back when I was in my 20s, and I had left for quite some time. I moved over to Spain. I started a tour company in Spain. I then expanded into Portugal. I bought a bar in Portugal, and then I bought a little bus that took people from Spain to Portugal, Portugal to Spain. But unfortunately, buying that bar in Portugal was a really bad business decision. I ended up losing a little over $100,000. I had to move back home to the States when I was now 30. I was totally broke after losing all that money. I had my credit completely destroyed, and I had no place to live. I had to move back in with my parents, which is not exactly something that we aspire to do when we're 30 years old, but that's where I ended up being. But luckily, that's where I found real estate. My now husband, Emilio, and I started dating. He's an immigrant from the Dominican Republic. He moved to the States when he was 18 years old, very much had that American dream of home ownership in mind. And that was really a big goal for him. But I was like, listen, we live in New York. It's incredibly competitive here. It is very expensive here. I don't really know if that's the way we want to go. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I was working so hard to rebuild myself financially after my losses in Europe. I didn't want to go back into debt, and I didn't want to be in a position where I couldn't afford my lifestyle. So I said, listen, I'm willing to buy a house, but we have to be able to do it in a way where we're going to be able to make money off of real estate. So we started simply with a house hack, as many of you have. A house hack is when you buy a multifamily, you live in one unit, you rent out the other. So that was how we got started. And honestly, when we got that first check from that first set of tenants, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. We are doing it again. So we did. So we went on to buy 12 more doors so far here in New York. And we also own property in the Dominican Republic as well. Now, our community, Lady Landlords, is really to help other women be able to do something very similar. It took Emilio and I around 3 years to create a 6-figure income within real estate investing. And that has completely changed our view on finances and what our family is able to do. And I know so many other of you are out there looking for financial freedom as well. So Lady Landlords is the resource that you want to be at to make sure that you can grow your portfolios and grow your passive income to financial freedom as well. But here we are now, just a couple days already into 2023. And I figured, why not kick us off by sharing what my goals are and what I'm going to be working on this year. Now, a couple weeks ago at the end of December, I did share my predictions of what I see in the housing market for this coming year. So if you've not listened to that episode, do make sure to go back, take a listen to what I think is going to happen with interest rates, with sale prices, all of those different factors back in that episode. And it'll help add some context to what I feel like we're going to see coming up in 2023. But here is what I will be working on this year. And trust me, I'm going to go back and watch this episode at the end of the year and see how many of these things did come true that I really planned on working on. So first thing that I plan on doing, I'm actually now down in the Dominican Republic. I am enjoying my home away from home. I absolutely love it down here. And one of my big goals is to purchase a short-term rental in the Dominican Republic. Many of you know we do own property in DR at this time, but that's actually long-term rental. We do not have that short-term rental down there. And this is really something that I'm excited for because to me, yes, it's a short-term rental, but I am actually going to be living there during all of the busiest weeks. And what's great is I can, because after years of buying real estate and putting our money and everything we can into our investments to grow that portfolio, we're really in a place where I actually don't need this property to cash flow to be able to afford it. It's amazing that I can say that. But now, just a few years after investing, this is a property that I'm going to be buying that is really going to be my vacation home. This is where I'm going to be living during the winters. Many of you know I do spend the winters down in DR, but this is actually the place that I'm going to be living during that time. So I will absolutely rent it out while I am not there. But this is something that I think is really kind of cool that I get to actually live there during all those prime weeks when everybody else wants it. But now I'm going to be able to have my property there. So in December, I actually identified the exact unit I want. I know exactly the one I want to go for. So hopefully that will be something that within the first quarter of 2023, I will be announcing within the group that we will be closed on that property down in the Dominican Republic. Now, if you're looking to buy abroad or if that's something you're interested in doing, do know that I also have other episodes about buying abroad and even managing my properties from abroad because I do self-manage all my properties regardless of what country I'm in. So that's the first goal that I have for this year. Second goal that I have for this year is I would like to buy another multifamily in New York in 2023. Okay. This was actually a goal I also set back in 2022, and I bought a multifamily in 2022. So I plan on doing the exact same thing. Just as often as I sit down with my husband to have like financial conversations and meetings about what we would like to kind of do next with our portfolio, and as much as I meet with my financial advisor to also go through planning, we actually meet with our realtor on a very regular basis to go through that planning. My realtor, Michael Torello, has been with us through all of these properties. And at the end of 2022, we really sat down and talked about what types of properties we're going to be looking for now in 2022. So we changed up our criteria a little bit compared to what we've normally looked for in the past. But I am really excited for this new property. One of the reasons we had to change that criteria is because the market's just different, right? We are already seeing these higher interest rates. Once again, go back and listen to my prediction video to hear what I think is going to happen with interest rates this year. But in this market or any market, we can always find deals. They're always out there, right? We have to make sure that we have a very clear idea of what it is that we're looking for. But as the market changes, we might have to change our strategy. And that's exactly what I am doing for the multifamily that I am looking for here in 2023. So another multifamily in New York is also one of my prime goals. Within that too, when I talk about New York, for anyone that is in that area, I am looking to buy in the Westchester County area. So that is where I currently reside. It is the county I live in. So I'm going to be looking for something that's going to be close to where I currently live and where some of my other properties are. So Westchester, New York is where that multifamily is going to be. It will most likely be between a 2 to 4 family is what I'm targeting on this. And I'm really excited to see how that one turns out, especially since it's going to be a little bit of a different criteria with this ever-changing market. So that's my second goal. Goal number 3 that I have for this year is actually to put some more money into syndications. Now, back in, if I remember, fall of 2021, I went on a mission to find the best syndication opportunities, the best syndicator out there to be able to invest my money with. I probably interviewed 50 different syndicators. I talked to every referral I can get, everybody that I can find, who's worked with who, everybody out there that was having good results. And I was like, those are the people I want to talk to. And luckily I came across John Cohen of Toro Real Estate Partners. And after interviewing so many different people, John was really the person that I chose to park my own money with. So in March of 2022, I entered my first syndication deal with John. And honestly, it was absolutely fantastic results. I was so happy with how that deal turned out and that money in the syndication. I found it was a great way to be able to diversify what my portfolio looked like. Now, I've always been a proponent of self-management. As many of you know, I do put a lot of systems in place where even managing the 12 units I have, it really only takes a couple hours a month to really be able to manage that at most. But my goal was never to own all of the real estate. I am never a person that wants to be in the position where I'm like, great, I now have 50 units or now I have 80 units. I don't want to own those amount of units. My goal is to own the least amount of units for the most amount of money. Okay. It took us only 10 units to make a 6-figure income. Now we're at 12. I don't want all of these units to have to manage. I want to go live my life on a beach. I do not want to answer tenant calls. I do not want headaches. I do not want that type of lifestyle. I want my beach lifestyle. So because of that, we are in a place where it just makes sense to be able to look for other things that are a little bit more passive. And syndications really provides us those opportunities. So I am very excited. There are a couple opportunities. In the fall of 2022, I actually did a webinar with John Cohen about an opportunity called Goose Creek for an upcoming syndication. And we did that actually as a Lady Landlords group fund. We raised almost $1 million within Lady Landlords for that syndication. And I'm really excited for it. And there's actually going to be another round coming up in February for that. So I will share that with Lady Landlords when that raise starts up again. But that's actually something that I'm going to double down on my money. I'm going to put some more money into that opportunity and really make sure that I am having my active investments and my passive investments. So those are my 3 goals for 2023. I would love to hear what your goals are. So if you are either watching us on YouTube or if you're listening to us on a podcast, I would love leave a comment down below so that way I know your goals. I'll help keep you accountable throughout this year. This is one of the reasons why I love to put this out here and let you know what my goals are, because now I got to follow through. I got 30,000 of you in the Lady Landlords group that I know are going to help hold me accountable. We're happy to hold you accountable too. So thank you very much for listening to our episode today. Please do make sure to hit subscribe and also leave a review to help other women be able to know about our podcast and get the educational resources that they know as well. So thank you very much for being here. We release new episodes every single Tuesday of the Lady Landlords podcast, and I will see you all next week.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you're feeling stuck in your real estate journey, visit lady-landlords.com to book a one-on-one workshop with me. I'll help you determine your next best strategy. Or you could subscribe to our newsletter for exclusive tips and offers. Invest with confidence. Become a Lady Landlord today.